Yeah, let's give one more example with to be a go-getter. You'll never guess who I ran into this weekend.
I have no who.
Ryan from high school.
Ryan? Really? That guy? What's he doing? Is he like a homeless guy on the street now, or where did you see him?
That's what you would expect because he was such a slacker in high school, but he seems like he's a real go-getter. He had a suit on. He was telling me about his job on the stock market.
What? I'm shocked. That guy never worked hard for anything in his life back in high school. He just
Yeah, I don't know what changed for him, but he seems like he's a real go-getter now.
Well, good for him. I'm happy to hear that he's picked his life up.
Yep, me too.
In this last example, we heard from two old high school friends, and one of the friends had recently run into an old high school acquaintance, Ryan. And back in the day during high school, Ryan was a slacker. He didn't work hard for anything. But now he is a successful stockbroker and he walks around in a suit and tie and he's a real go-getter. So he changed his life around. He went from being somebody that doesn't work hard at all to being a go-getter who is ambitious and works hard to get what he wanted.
Yep, exactly. In this example, Ryan went from a slacker to being a go-getter.
So maybe we should move on to our final expression, which is to be a
Yes, to be a self-starter.
And a self-starter is, once again, somebody who is highly motivated and does things on their own without having to be told what to do or without even having to be encouraged from others.
Yeah, a self-starter is someone who starts projects on their own.
They take their own initiative to get things done. And I think bosses really, really like self-starters because they don't always have to remind them to get their work done. They just do it on their own. And yeah, they go forward without having to be told to do so.
Yeah, it's definitely a very positive trait for someone to have when they're an employee.
And this expression was first used way back in the 1800s to talk about self-starting motors on cars because that was a big jump in technology, I guess, to have a motor that could start by just turning the key. But eventually, again, it evolved, and now we use it to talk about people who are highly motivated and get things done on their own.
Yes, exactly. I think that we should give some examples.
Yeah, let's do that.
Thanks, Bob, for coming in for an interview. Let's get started.
Okay, thanks for having me.
All right, why don't you start by telling me a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Well, I've been a computer programmer for about 10 years. I'm a motivated person. I would consider myself to be a self-starter. And my most recent project that I have finished is an application for the iPhone.
Ah, interesting. Did you create this application all on your own?
Yeah, I did, actually. I did all the programming myself.
Ah, okay, you really are a self-starter.
Yeah, it has been very successful, and I've got almost 50,000 downloads on iTunes for this app.
Oh, that's great. Okay, and now what about your last job? So in this example, we had Bob who was going in for a job interview and he was asked to describe himself. He said that he was a self-starter.